And it just, man, Cleveland was a great place. I learned a lot about coaching. You know, T. Lue and David Blatt and Mike Brown, you know, the coaches that I worked with there, man, they were just, you know, different, but they were all good. You know, like Larry Drew and just all the dudes I had a chance to work with, man, just, you know, watching those dudes and just, you know, learning about the game. It was big, man. Bernie Bickerstaff. It was like, man, I've been around some dudes that have been in the game for a while. You know,
so Phil, so realistically, so you do the 4 straight years at Cleveland, you go to the finals. You go to Toronto for how many years?
1.
Oh my God.
I was in Toronto for 1, man. That was Toronto was hard for me to leave. Like, that is an amazing city as well. Like, Toronto's probably one of my top 3 cities in the world.
Toronto's an amazing place, right?
Toronto's an amazing place. Again, great people, great food, great fans. You know, Cleveland's same, man. Just the fans. I think the fans in Cleveland and Toronto are the craziest fans in the league. Like, if you're on the opposing team, Toronto fans are crazy. If you're on the opposing team, Cleveland fans are crazy. Those are probably 2 of the places where some of the craziest fans. And I think, like, Toronto, man, was just, you know, the organization up there, they did a great job. You know, Masai and Bobby. And, you know, I played for Nick Nurse over in Europe. Me and Nick had some serious history, man. So
in England, right?
Yeah, we were in England.
Isn't Nick one of Doc Atkinson's guys?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, so Toronto was a short stop for me, but it was crazy because, you know, after Bron left the East, I kind of felt like Toronto was always just right there on the edge. Now, you know, every year they played us in the playoffs, man. We were just a little too strong for them. They didn't have an answer. You know, they didn't really have an answer for Bron.
No,
they didn't, bro. Like,
no.
We'll keep it 100. They'll tell you, look, all my people in Toronto, I love y'all, man. But you know what time it was. Didn't have an answer for Bron. And when he left, I kind of felt like, I was like, man, I wanted to, you know, be in an environment, a place where you continue competing for a championship. You know, man, I'm telling you, that joint, going to the final 4 straight years, man, that we gotta be careful what I say, man. You know, it's you want more. Yeah. That's all I can say. You want more. And so Toronto was like, when Nick got the job, it just kind of lined up. You know, I could have never imagined how that played out, but Nick got the job. You know, my contract was coming to an end in Cleveland. I wasn't sure what was going to happen next, and you know, I ended up in Toronto. And I remember saying to myself, and I was telling Nick, I was like, man, look, this team has a chance. Yeah, what's up, Killer?
What's up, Isaiah? Isaiah, get healthy. Hey, I hope you get a job next season.
That's a real one right there.
Yeah,
he's right now. So we I got the opportunity to go up to Toronto, and then I had told Nick, look, this team has a chance to compete for a championship. I believe it. And that was with DeMar there. I was a big fan of DeMar, man. I love this game. And in my mind, I was looking forward to the opportunity of actually working with him. Yep. He was one of the main dudes. I had never met DeMar. You know, never had any kind of interaction with him. And he was one of the dudes I really wanted to work with, you know. And so 2 days after I signed, I'm sitting at the crib in Cleveland, bro. I'm telling you, I wake up in the morning, real story. I'm in the bed. I wake up in the morning. I just happen to just click on the TV, ESPN, and that joint was like breaking news. The Toronto Raptors have traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. Bruh, listen, D-Ruck, I threw the remote up against the wall. I was like, man, get out of here, bruh. Like, listen.
Hold on. What was your perception of Kawhi at this point?
I didn't know Kawhi either. Never met the dude. Never spoke to him. Like, maybe had one little interaction with Kawhi. But I was like, come on, man. Because again, I had already, you know, I had a plan. I I had a plan put together for DeMar in my own head just to help him with some things.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole Kawhi thing just kind of, I was just like, dang, bro, what is really going on? And I was like, man, this shit ain't real. ESPN messing around. It ain't real. Sure enough, bro, that man, they got that man, him and Danny. And I had coached Danny in the G League, so I knew what Danny was about, but I never met Kawhi. Never had any kind of interaction with him.
But that was one that was tough for the group, right? Because DeMar was popular with the Raptors,
man.
right?
Like him and Kyle, great friends. Great friends.
Like, who's the burden on to work through that stuff, Phil?
I mean, I just think basketball. It's no one's burden. Basketball fixes that.
Go out, hoop.
You have to, D. You know how that works, man. You know how that works. Basketball in time fixes that. You know, I mean, look, Kyle lost his best friend. DeMar lost his best friend. You know, so that, and the city of Toronto lost their best player, the guy that raised that organization to, you know, to what they became. So that was a big loss. And once I got to Toronto, you know, seeing how intimate and how close the fans are, and like, man, I felt it. Like, yo, bro, that hurt them. You know, it hurt, but they also, you know, picked up another superstar. So you traded one superstar for another superstar, which is, you know, as you know, D, that's rare around the league, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's rare. So it was one of those things where I knew when it was happening, I said, man, the only thing that's going to fix this is basketball. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing that nobody can say. You're just going to have to win basketball games. The team is going to have to do well. And, you know, Kawhi and Kyle, man, they hit it off. Just professional. They were pros, you know.
Yeah.
And that whole team, man, just them dudes, all of them, unbelievable workers. That whole crew.
And your role has increased now with the Raptors, right?
Yeah, Nick hired me as his fourth assistant. It was about the same as what I was doing in Cleveland, but you know, Nick gave me some more responsibility, man. He put more on my plate and really just.
So give me an example. Give the people an example of what some of your extra responsibilities might be.
Well, I mean, I've always like even in Cleveland, like T. Lue was like, he gave me a lot of responsibility in Cleveland, and I was really just looked at as the director of player development. That's what I was. But T. Lue, man, like, you know, he gave me playoff preps. I ran on practices sometimes. He gave me a lot of latitude in having a voice.
Yeah. And
when I got that, you know, the fourth assistant title in Toronto, you know, Nick just really threw me more into the X's and O's, and you know, I did scouts, and you know, just a lot of on-court stuff. Just really gave me more opportunity to do that, and it was growth. It was just big. It was big growth for me, man, and it was you know, and I still played a heavy role in the development. I mean, I think that's always going to be. That's always going to be me in my heart, no matter what happens in my career. Yeah. So, and that was a hell of a run, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Jordan Clarkson, what's up, Jordan?
Jay, oh my guy, boy, that's my dude right there, Jay Clark.
He's smooth.
That's a bucket. That's a bucket right there. A bucket.
So check this out.
All day.
You know the play, Kawhi, when he hits the shot.
Mm-hmm.
What was the call in the timeout?
It was just a side out of bounds play that Nick drew up. But the way Philly guarded it, it turned into a broken play. Yeah. So when Kawhi caught the ball, I just really think.
What was he supposed to get? Was he supposed to get the screen?
Well, he was, but again, the play was broken because of how they guarded it. And so they kind of switched, they kind of blew it up, and it was just kind of like a little bit of a scramble. So when he got the ball, you could tell he was just looking for an open spot on the floor.
Yeah, to elevate.
Just let me get to a spot on the floor so I can get a shot off. And that man went all the way to that deep corner. he couldn't go nowhere else. He was like, well, man, let me just go ahead and get over to this corner. And, man, I remember, dog, the arena, for me, the arena just went dark. Ben, dog, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. The arena just went dark. And I just remember the ball was, like, bouncing on the rim, bro. And it was just like, man, is this thing going? What is it going to do? And I just remember like it bounced on the other side. And I thought it was going to roll off. Man, that joint went through the net, bro, and it was just pandemonium in that arena, like crazy.
I mean, I don't know how. First of all, it was short, right?
It was short, so he got some lift on it, but he was fading. Like, he was fading away out of the corner. There was a three.
I know, but I'm talking about I'm talking about when it hits the rim, it's going down, and it pops back up somehow.
And hits the other side. So it bounces up. It hits the other side. That's why I said I thought it was going to roll off. And then it hit the backboard, kind of like hit the backboard and rolled in. Then, man, bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like for real, D, like, I don't even think I just kind of stood there like, yo, that joint just went in. It was crazy. And then you see all the photos afterwards.
Great photo.
Everybody, that is an iconic shot. And you know what's crazy, D? Like, I feel like in my young coaching career, man, I feel like I've been a part of some real iconic moments in the league.
Yeah.
And like that
even on the losing end.
No question. 100%. And
Crazy.
that shot is going to go down as one of the most iconic pictures of all time, bro. That man is squatted down with his whole team just standing around him, dog. Like, and you look at all the different facial expressions, man.